So I grabbed an 8x10 mirror at IKEA. I also grabbed some cardboard. I had this left over from a Dollar Tree project. And I'm gonna start by using my mat to kind of draw out straight lines around my mirror. I want about maybe 1.5 inches on each side of my mirror. Next, I'm gonna come in with my rotary cutter and cut straight lines to make my cardboard nice and straight. Then I'm going to hot glue the mirror to the center of my cardboard. I decided I wanted to use macrame around the edge and I wanted it to be braided. So what I did was I cut off really long pieces and I cut off 6 pieces. And then once I got the long pieces cut off, I taped them down to my craft table. Then I'm gonna take 2 strands for each of my braid and I'm just gonna do a basic 3-strand braid. Sorry, I'm kind of sounding like my old hair channel because we used to do 4-strand and 5-strand braids. So yeah, you're just gonna do a basic braid. Now I braided all the way to the end. So I had this like big long braid. Now I don't know how, but somehow I made this magically be the perfect size. I was thinking I was gonna have to add additional, but I don't know. Somehow it was the perfect size. So at the top, where I had taped it down, I hot glued those pieces together and cut off the excess. And then I started by hot gluing it closest to the mirror, wrapping it around. Once I got the first layer onto my mirror, I wanted to wrap around a second layer. Now, as I was doing that, I had to cut off some of the cardboard because I didn't account for how long the braid was gonna be. So as I went on the second layer, I cut off some extra cardboard. And as you can see, I had just enough to wrap it around the back and hot glue the excess in place. So for this next project, I had a vision in mind, but I wasn't sure it was going to totally work out. So I had my husband help me with the measurements just because he's really good at that. So it ended up working out. So I'm really excited to show this one to you. So what you're gonna need for this project are 2 of the Dollar Tree cutting boards. So we marked both of the boards at 5.5 inches. Then we traced the edge of the cutting board because we were going to be cutting it out. But we were only going to be cutting out half of the cutting board. So we marked up 3.5 inches. Now here's where we got a little tripped up. We had to figure out which sides we were going to cut so that they sandwiched together. So we kind of drew a little line to know which side to cut. Next, we used a saw to cut out the notches on both of the cutting boards. Now that the hard part was out of the way, all we had to do was sandwich the 2 together to create a perfect little book holder. This is great to set out as a coffee book holder, or you could also use it when displaying a cookbook. And I'm really excited how this turned out for only $2. So one of the trends I've been noticing on higher end websites is having candles that are in more of a bowl shape. And those can be really expensive. So I wanted to show you an option of how you could recreate that for so much less. So I picked up one of the marble bowls that they have just in the regular plate and bowl aisle at Dollar Tree. You're also going to need 2 Dollar Tree candles. I see these at most stores that I go to, so you definitely should be able to find them. I also bought a pack of candle wicks off of Amazon. I got a ton of them for a really inexpensive price. I'll link it down below for you, but these I know are gonna last me forever. So to do this task, it does get on your pots and pans. So I actually bought a really cheap pan from Walmart that I'm going to specifically use for this task because I've now done this like I think 3 times, and so I want to make sure that I'm not using all of my regular pans. So I think this pan was like under $5, and then I'm just going to put the 2 candles in and fill it up about halfway with water. Now you're going to want to let this boil. It's going to take probably around 20 minutes for all of the candle wax to melt. So wait until the candle wax is completely melted. With the marble bowl, I'm gonna take those candle wicks and I'm actually gonna hot glue them to the bottom of my bowl. Now one of them kind of came up, so I had to mess with it a little bit, but that's just gonna help it stay in place whenever you're pouring in your candle wax. So it just helps you to kind of make, not have them floating around. So this is very hot. You want to make sure that you have on hot pads, all the things. Use tongs so that you're not touching it or going anywhere near the candle wax. So once you have your hot pads on and your tongs, you're just going to pour the candle wax into the bowl. I ended up using almost both of the candles to fill up this bowl. And then what I like to do to make sure that the candle wicks stay where I want them to be is I just take some popsicle sticks and lay them over top, and then that way they'll kind of stay in place while they're drying. Now this does take a couple of hours to dry, and then from there all you have to do is cut off the top of the candle wicks and you have a really cute candle to set out in your home. When I was walking around Dollar Tree, I found this really cute Kindness Matters little bag, and I thought it would be perfect for a project. So I grabbed one of my little hoops that I have on my background here. You can get them off of Amazon, I'll link below. And all I did, super easy, was I just took the bag and I put it through the hoop. Once I got it to where it was as even as possible so that it really framed that circle, and then I just tightened the little ring. I then came back and cut off the excess on the back. And that was it. And now I have it displayed out on my backdrop and think it looks great.
What are you doing?
Oh, don't mind me. Just like, wouldn't this be awesome if we use these little guys? Have you guys seen these greenery pots? I think it'd be so cool if I make like a board. If you're redoing a space, the Milanote app is perfect to have all of your inspiration in one place. I feel like it's similar to like this inspo here where, you just kind of have pots and a board behind it. I found these big black chalkboard signs. I think that'd be perfect. So let's try it. If it looks good, it looks good. If not, it's okay too.
It actually looks really good.
I think it's gonna be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I really hope that you guys are able to find those little florals because they're just so cute. So I started by removing all the labels from the chalkboard, and I have to tell you, it was quite the chore. They were stuck on there really well. I got out my Goo Gone to really try to get out all the residue. Next, I removed the hangers from all of the pieces. And I'm going to be using those popsicle sticks that we used earlier, and I'm just going to add some hot glue as support pieces between my two signs. Make sure your signs are completely connected before you do this, and I'll do this with a third board as well. Next, I'm just going to mix and match the little greenery until I like the way that it looks. Now, these aren't very heavy, so I was able to put these on there with just hot glue. Again, make sure you're using the construction adhesive glue because if your glue is not that great, it's not going to hold. I also added twine as my hanger on this and just tied it on one edge really well and then tied it to the other edge. So to cover up the holes, I just grabbed some of those popsicle sticks and put black marks on a Sharpie and hot glued them to the back so you weren't able to see the little holes. And here is a final look at how it looks. This would be so cute in your kitchen, but I'm showing you how it looks on my backdrop. Hey guys, I'm Liz and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.